So this response.json is something which is not used by us. It is used by the fetch API to
Okay.
process the JSON which is coming.
Okay. Okay.
And then it converts that JSON which is coming from the server into the J. So J is exactly the same data which server is sending. So if I open this URL in the browser,
Hmm.
let me open it in the browser. When I open this URL in the browser, I'm getting this from the server. This is the JSON data which I'm getting from the server.
Right.
And this data which is coming from the server is exactly what is stored in the J. So J is a variable which holds the server data which
Hmm.
we see here in the
Okay.
API call.
Got it. Okay. But
If you try to
just so
use,
that, why do
yeah,
we have a response.json in between? Because the server that, like, yeah, why do we have that in
yeah,
between?
because the response.json is something the intermediate step which is
Uh,
used by fetch to process the JSON which is coming from the server.
okay.
So this is not used by us. This is used by the fetch API, and
Hmm.
ultimately it converts into the J, which is the proper format which is needed for us, which is the exact data which is coming from the server.
Okay. As it is. Hmm.
Right. So this part is something you don't have to worry about. This is for the fetch API, and they
Okay.
process it, and it is not needed by us. So we are not concerned with this part, because if we
Okay.
take this part, then we need to process it manually, which we
Hmm.
don't want to. We want fetch to give us the final output. So this
Right.
is something, the final output which we get from the server.
Right. Okay. And when you do console.log j is j, and when you
Right.
run that get function, the display, how is that being displayed?
This one.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is something, once the data is written from the server, I can console.log j is j, which is the exactly this data which I am able to get it. So
Okay.
I'm able to show this on the screen that I'm getting valid data or not. So I'm putting console.log. When you
Oh,
will
okay.
go
Okay.
to production, you will comment this and go, because in reality you don't want to show it to the user. This is
Right.
for
Right.
us, our development purpose, that whether the data is coming correctly or not. So tomorrow server data is in different and I'm getting different J, so I can verify whether the J is coming exactly what I am opening this in the URL.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. I understood now. Thank you.
And you can go through again the video, and if you again feel that you cannot understand, I will go through this again maybe in the
Okay.
next lesson.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Thank you.
So today we will do the another part of the React, and that is
Hmm.
called the routing.
Routing. Hmm.
Routing means we will define the URLs, and based on
Okay.
the URL we will call the component. So for example, I have following component, for example, home, about, contact us, frequently asked questions. So let's say
Hmm.
I have 4 pages. So I want, where if I call in the URL slash slash, it should go to the home component. When I
Hmm.
say slash about, it should go to about component. So I
Hmm.
may have different components, and based on the URL, I will be able to call the different components. So
Right.
for example, I say contact, so it should go to my contact component. If I say
Okay.
FAQ, so we have to map the URL with the component which we will be calling.
So each URL has a separate component.
Component, or you can make it same, also depend upon your requirement. You can say about URL should go to about, contact should also go to about, that also you can do. But
Right.
generally, since the functionality is different, so
Yeah.
you have to say different URL with different components. If you
Okay.
feel that URL is same but the functionality is different, functionality is same but the URL is different, then you
Hmm.
can put same, your URL will be changed to about to, for example, but the component will be about.
Okay. Okay.
So depend on what you need, whether you need URL different, same component, or same URL different, same URL will be one component.
Right. Okay.
So this is the routing. We have to see how to define the routing in our React, because once you start the real project,
Hmm.
you have to define this routing, so that based on the routing you can go to different page, and different page will have different functionality. So
Hmm.
we should understand how the routing works in the React.
Right. Okay.
So first step in the routing is we need to install the, first we need to create the new project. So I will say
Hmm.
create a new project. So I will say create React app. Maybe
Hmm.
I'll name it as router one.
Hmm.
Second step is we need to install the routing. So anything if we want to install in the React world, we will use this command, and that command is called npm
Hmm.
install
Hmm.
React router DOM. This is the application which does the routing part. So we are installing this application. Application is called React router DOM.
Hmm.
And to install this application, we will use the command npm install.
Hmm.
And I will also put the save. In the end, I will say minus minus save. And
Hmm.
what does this save does? So whenever you see whenever you create the React project, there is a file created that is called the package.json. And
Hmm.
whatever functionality you will try to put in your React application will be defined in these dependencies. So right now the functionality which is used in my application is React,
Hmm.
React DOM, and the React scripts. These are the default functionalities created by the React when we say create React app.
Yeah.
When we say create React app, these three packages are automatically installed and we are able to use these packages in our application.
Right.
Now, router is not there. If you see, router is not here. So
Yeah.
if we want to use the router, we will use this command npm install react router DOM save. And what
Hmm.
will the save do? Save will write a line here by
Okay.
putting after this, it may create some line called as react router
Router. Hmm.
DOM, and some version it will put 1.0 or something it will put.
Right.
And so that next time you don't have to run this command again.
Okay.
So
This
if you are
one time.
saving it, it will be saved in this package.json, and you don't have to repeat this step again and again.
Hmm. 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 Okay.
I will talk about this little bit more after I install this React router DOM.
Hmm.
Then you will know what exactly it is.
Okay.
So let me run this command. So I created one project that is called the router one by running
Hmm.
the create React app router one.
Hmm.
Now I will go to this folder that is called the router one,
Yeah.
and inside this I will run the command npm install
Install.
react router DOM minus minus save.
Right.
So once I run this command, it will install it in my folders, and after installation it will also save the line in the package.json so that we
Okay.
can use it again and again without
Okay.
running this command, because this command I will run only once
Hmm.
and next time I will not run. So we need to save it in the package.json.
Okay.
Whenever React is created, whenever the React app is created, you will see a node modules folder is created, and in the
Yeah.
node modules folder all the functionalities are there. All
Hmm.
the functionalities which React will use or will be using is defined in the node modules. So when I run this npm install react router DOM, there will be some folder created inside the node modules which will define the React router DOM functionality. So this is my folder. Router one is my project. If I go into the node modules, if I go scroll down,
Hmm.
there are a lot of files, 100,000, more than 100,000 files. We're not concerned with all the files.
Right.
So, so you will see
Router.
React router DOM, React.
R E
So
A.
React router DOM is
Yeah.
created. This folder is created
Because we
because
did that.
we run this npm install react router DOM save.
Okay.
So tomorrow, if your node modules folder is deleted, for example, it gets
Hmm.
deleted,
Hmm.
then you have to just run npm install, and it
Hmm.
will again come up with all the functionalities which you have mentioned in the package.json.
Okay. Okay.
So now if you see, this is my yesterday's project. It does not have react router DOM because we did not did router yesterday. So it has
Yeah.
only the 3 lines of the code. Now let's see the same package.json in the router one.
Hmm.
If I open it, you will see React router DOM is added a 1 line in addition to the 3 more which were in the yesterday's package.
Hmm.
And now in the package.json, we have one more line, React router DOM.
Okay.
So that means React router DOM is also installed in our project.
Hmm. Okay. Package run
Maybe,
define. Yeah, got
yeah,
it.
yeah. Maybe this is a new thing. You need to, you need time to understand, grab the new things, kind of thing. But you will
Actually,
understand.
remember in the first class when you just were teaching React, you
Right.
said we should do sudo npm install create React app, the boilerplate for React. When do we have to do that when we are doing React router DOM?
React router, we will not put the sudo.
Okay,
Sudo
okay.
is only put when we use -g. So if I want to install globally anything,
Hmm.
I will say sudo npm install -g, and I will put, let's say, React router DOM. When
Hmm.
I install React router DOM globally, I put -g. At that time, we need to put sudo. But whenever this actually -g, we use only the commands which we use globally, like create React app. This is the
Okay,
command we use globally. So
okay.
while installing this create React app, we put -g. But this create router DOM will be project based.
Only project specific. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tomorrow you will create new project that will also have React router DOM, but you will install it in for that project. You will
Okay.
not install React router DOM for all the projects at one time.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So since this is specific to the project, we don't put sudo and we don't put -g. -g is the global. We only put the save. So this save will only save this React router DOM for the current project. It will not be for other projects. When you create another project, you need to install this line again.
Okay. Okay. So this is just pertaining to the project.
Right.
Okay.
So this is after this step, node modules will have functionality called as React router DOM. And so we can create our custom route
Hmm.
based on this functionality.
Hmm.
So now once React router is installed, now our step of installation is done. Now we will see how to create this routing part.
Right.
So let me open the source, and I will delete unnecessary files which are not used for this current project.
Hmm. So do most of the React projects have routing? Is it like you said
All the
yesterday?
projects should have routing. Without routing, you won't be able to work.
Okay. Because we deal with web pages, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so every page will be different. So you have 10 pages, 10 pages will have 10 routing. If you don't put routing, then how will you know which component to call? You won't
Right.
put all the components by putting if else condition. You have to specifically say routing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to write if else condition. There will be a lot of confusion and it will not work
Right.
properly.
Right. Right. Okay.
Okay, so let's delete the CSS file. We are not needed in this project. So now we will work with the React routing. So
Hmm.
now the React routing, you need to learn, you need to understand 3 parts. There are 3 things you have to learn
Hmm.
to make the routing work. So what is the first thing? 3 things to remember. First thing which you have to remember is you need to call 3 functionalities from the React router DOM. We need to call 3 functionalities. There are 3 functionalities to be called from the
Hmm.
React router DOM. And
Hmm.
what are those 3 functionalities? We will see here. Uh, so first functionality which I want to use is I will use import, and I will start with the curly bracket.
Hmm.
So first functionality is called browser router.
Hmm.
Browser router, and I will rename it as router. So whenever I will use on my page, I will use as a router, but in
Okay.
reality it is browser router.
Okay.
and I will rename it as router. So in the page, I will use as router. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the first functionality I will be calling,
Hmm.
comma. Second functionality which I will be calling is called as route,
Okay.
and third functionality which I will call is the link, and I will say from React router DOM. So there is a folder React router DOM, and I want to import these three functionalities, one, two, three, from this uh, folder, which is
Hmm.
present in the node modules. So I will copy this and I will put it in my app.js. So you
Okay.
will get clear idea what exactly each functionality is doing.
Right.
Just
Right.
remember, just remember the three functionalities has to be called to make
From
the
this.
routing work properly.
Okay. Okay. Every time these three have to be called.
Yeah, if we want to use the routing.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so just three functionality. Remember. Now we will see how to use each of the functionalities.
Okay.
So first functionality is called the router.
Hmm.
So in the app.js, we will use this functionality only in this app folder, right? Not in
Right.
other component.
Right.
We will
Right.
in this component only.
Hmm.
Wherever we want to define the routing. If we
Hmm.
are defining routing in 10 components, then we have to use this line in 10 components. Right
Okay.
now, I am using only in the app component.
Okay.
And routing should be present only in the one component. All other components should not have routing.
Yes. Or if you're using in 10 components, then just attach it to one main app component. Hmm.
Yes. Okay, so now we will use first router. Router is the top level component and it should be outside the div. So before div, I will say router. We will call the
Hmm.
router component,
Hmm.
and all div will go inside this router and
Okay.
it will wrap with the router. So once I
Okay.
put router, that means some routing has to be happen inside this div. So we
Right.
know that we are about to write some routing configuration inside this div part. So this is
Okay.
called a router. So router should be wrapped always to the div,
Okay.
outside div.
Okay.
It will be in the app.js only where we are trying to write the router.
Hmm.
So first one is the router used to wrap the main div in app.js.
Hmm.
So work of this is done. It has no other work. It's done, gone. Now router
Okay.
we will not use router again. That's
Okay.
done.
Okay.
Now we will see what is the functionalities of the route in our React application.
Hmm.
So let's say this is called the layout. A app will be called as a layout
Hmm.
of my page. So I will write something here. Let's say app component is layout.
How the
It
page
has
looks and all. Yeah.
all the page looks and all, and it has, let's say, some common header which will be used by all the components.
Hmm.
Common header. Then it has some navigation, for example, and after navigation there will be the content which will be different for different page. Let's say slash about will have the content of about page. Slash
Hmm.
contact will have the about content of contact.
Hmm.
So each URL has different content.
Right.
So this content will come from routing part. So here is something content will come. Just
Hmm.
remember content will come.
Okay.
And then here is the footer, some footer, common
Um,
footer on all the pages.
right.
So let's make this layout in our app.js. So
Hmm.
this is my main div. I will start with h1 tag, and here I will say my common header for all
Hmm.
pages.
Hmm.
Then I will start with the navigation. I will say div tag another. So here I will say common. It will be present in all the pages. Navigation for all pages.
Pages. Hmm.
Okay, and I will create some navigation. So for example, I will start with first I will put it AH reference. Then I will tell you exactly what to replace with that one. Right now I'm
Okay.
saying home.
Hmm.
Let's say I have the home page,
Hmm.
and then I have AH reference equal to, I will say about page, and
This
about page.
pipe character you give in between is what?
This pipe is just HTML character. It's nothing to do with React or
Oh,
something.
okay, okay.
Just to separate the two links.
Statement. Okay.
So let's say if a user go to about/about, it should go to about us page,
Hmm.
and I will close the A tag, and then I will start with another A tag,
Hmm.
and here will be contact page.
Right.
So I'll say contact page. Let's say I have another page, and it will be, let's say, page 1. I'm just
Hmm.
putting dummy page.
Yeah.
And then it will be another last page, a reference. For example, I'm creating so many components to make the things clear.
Hmm.
Let's say there is some detail page of page 1, which has which is detail page. Let's say we have the car page, we have car website. So one is the page 1 where I will display all the cars, but
Hmm.
it should go to another detail page where it can see particular car. So let's say
For
I
that
have 10
specific
cars.
car. Hmm.
Yeah, I have 10 cars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I pass 1, it should show the 1 car. If I pass
Right.
2, it should show the 2 cars. So this is
Second
the
car.
dynamic URL which we have to build. So I'm putting right now 2, but I can replace it with any 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can replace with any.
Got it.
So I will say page 1 detail, some detail page. So I'm saying page 1 detail,
Hmm.
and I'm putting AH reference. So this page 1 will show all the cars. For example, when I pass in the URL 2, so it will show second number car. When I pass
Hmm.
3, it will show third number car. So we are making some kind of dynamic attribute in the URL.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so this is my navigation. Let me close it div tag,
Hmm.
and here I will put HR tag. So let's run this page now and see how it looks
Hmm.
in the browser, and then we will add more functionalities on it.
Okay.
I'll say npm start. So this is my React page, and I will go here. I will go here. I'll display. So these two we haven't done yet. That's the reason it's showing it is not
Right.
used.
Right.
But this is my common header. This is my navigation, common navigation,
Yeah.
home page, about, link, contact, page 1 detail.
Details.
And let's see the footer. I have put footer or not. Okay, I have to put the footer also, so that you should see this is my layout. And here I will say H3,
Hmm.
common footer will come
Okay.
here.
Hmm.
On page. So this is the footer, this is
Right.
the header, this is navigation, and the content will come between these two HR lines. So the
Yeah.
content will come here. Some content
Got
will
it.
come here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it
Right.
will be different. If I go to about page, it should be different. If I go to contact page, it should be different. If
Yes.
I say page 1, it will be different. And this is a single page application. Single page application means if I'm going from about us to contact page, the
Hmm.
whole page will not reload. This part will remain same, this part will remain same, only the content part will be changed.
Ah,
So
okay. That is SPA. Okay.
that is the single page application, and it makes the usability very nice because user does not have to refresh. It is quick because only this content part is changed. All
Right.
other parts remain same. Let's say if I have too much CSS for this, too much CSS, too much images are there, it will be loaded only once when the page will
Yes.
load.
You don't have
But
to do it
next
again.
time, yeah, next time it will not be loaded, and only the content will be replaced with the new content. So
Right.
that is the
Okay.
meaning of single page application.
Okay.
So now I need to create the routing in the content place. So
Hmm.
before creating routing, we need to create the components for each one. So for home, I will create one component. For about us, I will create another component. For
Hmm.
contact, I will create another component. For this, I will create another component. For this, I will create another component. So let's
Okay.
create different components.
Okay.
So I'm saying class home
Hmm.
extends component.
Hmm.
This is my home component. It will
Hmm.
be having same
Render.
function render,
Hmm.
and it will return
Hmm.
a div, and here I'll say home component.
Right.
This home component will be in different file, but right now I'm
Yes,
demonstrating in the
yes.
same file for a quick studying purpose.
Right, right. Yeah, but it'll be a different .js file. Yeah.
Yeah, different project. All the components should remain in the same different file for easy
Hmm.
maintenance.
Right.
Second will be the about component.
Hmm.
We'll copy it again. Third will be the contact component. Fourth will be the page one component.
Hmm.
And maybe next will be the page one detail component.
So even if page one has multiple children, even those will be different components, is it?
You can use same also
Hmm.
by putting some if age condition if you want to use that one.
Okay.
Or if it is, let's say this is the listing page, for example. So it's
Right.
the page one. This is detail page.
Hmm.
So it's kind of different page. Your listing is showing all the cars, and
Right.
detail will be showing only one car.
Right.
So
Okay.
let's make the listing, and it will be easy
Details.
listing. So let's say listing, and here I will say it will be easy to understand listing
Yeah.
page, and this is something called a detail page with parameter which car I want to see.
Yeah.
I will say detail page for car. So detail will be showing the detail of the cars, and the
Hmm.
listing will show all the cars.
Okay.
Okay, so I created component for each of the URL.
Hmm.
Now I want to build the navigation. So first part is done. First part was only to put the router.
Hmm.
Second part is this layout is, you can call it as not related to routing, but this is the layout creation. We create the
Hmm.
layout with common header, navigation, common footer. Now
Hmm.
the content will change based on the URL. So for that we need to use the routing. And how to
Right.
use the routing, I will show you now how to use the routing. So routing will be used in this way. So I will go to the, okay, here I will give example and then I will put it there.
Okay.
So to create the routing, I will say route, and in the, I will create one key value pair that is called exact equal to true.
Hmm.
This is some key value pair, and what is the meaning of exact I will tell you just within few minutes. Path
Okay.
equal to, I will define the path, which path I want to go, and the
Right.
component I want to define the component, which component I want to call.
Right. Huh.
So this is the routing way, and this is something we are using the second part of the routing, route. So for each
Yes.
URL, I will be building this kind of statements.
Okay.
So if I go
Okay.
to app.js, wherever I want to show the content, there only
Hmm.
I have to pass the routing part.
Route. Hmm.
So that means here the content will be replaced. So if I call
Okay.
home, the
Then that
content
will
will
be
be
got.
replaced with the home component.
Right.
If
Right.
I, let's create another routing, and this routing will be about,
About us. Yeah.
and it will be calling the about component, which is
Hmm.
defined here, this
Hmm.
one.
Oh, for every component it does that.
Yeah, I have to create for every component, every URL. It
Yeah.
component can be same also. Maybe I can say, oh, about should also go to home. I can use that one like this.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
It depends on me where I want to send the user to. But right now I want to send it to every URL should be every different components
Right.
for the current exercise.
Right.
I'll say exact equal to true. Always put exact equal to true now. I will tell you one reason what is the use of exact equal to true.
Hmm.
But most probably you will need exact equal to true in every case. But sometimes you may not need it. So I will tell you the meaning of exact equal to true so that you
Okay.
can identify if the certain case can come in your project.
Right. Okay.
This will be the component equal to contact. Let's create a route for all. Exact equal to true. Path equal to making a
This.
listing.
Hmm.
Component equal to listing. and this is the last one, exact equal to true.
Hmm.
Now here we need to pass dynamic URL
Hmm.
because it may be 2, it may be 3, it may be 1. So I
Right.
have to
Oh yeah.
say like I have to say detail
Hmm.
slash. Now the place where it is changing, where it is dynamic,
Hmm.
I have to put the colon and some identifier. So maybe I can say ID. This
Right.
is 2. I can say ID. ID
Right.
equal to 2, 3. So
So that
tomorrow,
changes. Yeah.
right. So this colon, this means it is changing. It will be
Right.
changed every time.
Okay.
I will give one more example here to show you what exactly we have to pass here. So for
Hmm.
example, uh, my website has a search function where I can take latitude, longitude, and keyword from the user, and I search based on those
Hmm.
parameters.
Hmm.
So in the URL, I can say colon keyword, where I will be passing the keyword in the URL. Then
Hmm.
I can say latitude, where the user is living in the latitude,
Right.
and I will say longitude. So the
Okay.
URL will be like this in the if we go to any URL will be like this. So in the keyword, user can put maybe he's searching cars, so he will put car, and then he will
Hmm.
put latitude let's say 1.48,
Hmm.
and longitude let's say 3.45,
Hmm.
and then we will in the page we will be able to know this is the latitude, this is longitude, this is the keyword, and based on that we will go to the server, get the data, and show it to the user.
Got it. So it changes with those values. Yeah.
Right. So it will be different for different users.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Every person is living differently, so they will be doing different one.
Right. Got it. Hmm.
So this is the routing. We created all the routing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hmm.
If we get any errors or what, let's refresh the page. Okay, so we have used the two parts of the routing,
Hmm.
this part, and now last is this link remaining.
Link. Hmm.
Now, if I click about us, you will see about page is there and about component is also called. If I click the contact page is come in the URL and contact component is called.
Right.
Click listing URL is also there and listing component is called. If I say
Right.
detail component is called and detail is here in the URL
Link
also.
is there. Hmm.
But this is not really a single page application because when I'm clicking about us, it
Hmm.
is also loading all the header and footer again. It is not
Okay.
really calling the content, though we are not able to see it because it's software, it is quick, so we are
Yeah.
not able to see this part.
Yeah.
But in reality, it is calling the new page.
All over
It is
again.
not all over again. It is not a single page app. To make it single page app,
Hmm.
React wants us to not to use the A tag. Instead of A tag, React wants us to use the link tag which we created above, this link
Oh.
tag. If
Okay.
we use instead of A tag, if we use link tag, then it will be the single page application.
Got it.
So,
Okay.
so instead of A tag, I will say link, capital L and K because it's a component, so it's a link. And
Hmm.
instead of H reference, I will say to, wherever
Two.
we want to
Link
go to.
to. Okay.
So let's rename everywhere to this one.
Link to. Okay.
And since we are starting with a link, so ending tag will be also link, not A tag.
Okay.
Okay. So we have everywhere now link tags.
Hmm.
Now let's go there and we'll try to,
It'll look the same, right?
yeah. So now, uh,
Okay.
now if
That's
you see,
not looking.
I have put it here as a selected so
Hmm.
that I should know when the page will refresh, this will
That
go
won't
away.
change.
If it is, yeah, if it is single page, it will won't change. But if it
Right.
is refreshing, let's make one of them as a tag so that
Then
you
we
can
can
see
see.
the difference.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Let's refresh now. So now if I click this, if I click the last one, which is the A tag,
Hmm.
it is refreshing the
Yeah.
page, so it's gone.
Hmm.
Now if I click about, contact, home, about, contact, listing, you will see this is still present there. It is not refreshing.
Right. Right.
If I click last one, it is refreshing and it's gone.
Hmm. Okay.
So we need to use the link tag everywhere.
Okay.
Make it single page app. Now everything is single page. Once the page loads, the header and footer will not change. Only thing will be changing this content.
Even if we like by mistake use a href, then will that be of some implication with React, or it's just advised not to,
If you put
or router won't
AHREF,
work?
no, router will work because router is only based on the URL.
Yeah.
AHREF will send the page to this URL and then the page will load again. So
Okay.
the purpose of your doing single page will not be fulfilled
Right.
because you are trying to do the things in single page and you don't want the page to refresh.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
So that's the reason it's better not to use a tag. We have to use
Okay.
always link tag.
Okay.
So all the three parts we have used. And second part is to create the routing. We use this routing route
Hmm.
one to create
Route.
different routes.
Hmm.
We use this routing one and to navigate instead of a tag, use link tag
Okay.
for navigation. And its syntax is link to equal to wherever you want to go
Hmm.
and ending with link.
Hmm.
So this is about the three parts of the routing to make a routing work. Now, next thing is we need to understand how we will get the value of ID because in the detail page we will get the ID, but
Hmm.
based on the ID, I should be able to show different cars. So if it is ID 1, I should show detail component for car, whatever ID is coming.
Hmm.
It's a 1 or 2 or whatever ID is coming, I need to show that ID here.
Hmm.
Okay, so this ID should be dynamic. If I'm passing 1,
It
it
should
should show 1.
one. Yeah. And it should route to that. So yeah.
Right now it's saying only ID, but it should show 2 actually because I'm passing 2 here in the ID.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so we have to see how to do that. So
Right.
next thing is we have to, so now I will go to detail component and in the render I will console.log something and this will be props. Let's see what is props coming in the detail page.
Hmm.
Okay, okay, let's go here.
Detail.
Okay, let's create the, okay, I'll click the detail and here if you see props, this once we have the routing, there is so many things comes in the props or
Hmm.
use the routing and one of the properties match.
Hmm.
Inside match we have the property params.
Hmm.
Inside params we have the property ID and we're
Hmm.
getting ID 2 because 2 is passed here.
Right.
So if I
Yeah.
change to 3, if I change to 3, you will see match inside match params inside ID equal to 3 because I passed 3 in the URL.
Hmm.
Okay, so we need to first get this 3 number and then we will show ID equal to 3. That is
In
here
the
ID,
in the content side part.
yeah, in the content. So let's create one variable. For example, I'm saying ID and this should have the value of this dot props dot. Let's try to check what is how to get that one. This dot props dot match match.
Hmm.
Inside match we have params.
Hmm.
So I'll say dot params
Hmm.
dot. Since I want to get the ID, so
ID.
inside params I have to get the ID.
Okay.
But now I will take this ID and I will show this ID here. So since it's a JavaScript variable, I have to wrap it with the curly bracket.
Curly bracket. Hmm.
So now every time when I load the detail page, based
Hmm.
on the ID, it will show the car which I want to display it. For example,
Right.
now it's showing 3. Let's say if I have the car number 100, it will
It'll.
show the car number 100. So in reality, I will take this 100 number, I will go to the backend with
Hmm.
the 100 number, and backend will give me the car with the ID 100, and I will
Hmm.
show that to the user. If I'm
Hmm.
passing 1, it will go to the backend with ID 1, and we will show the description of the car with ID 1.
Hmm. Okay.
So this is all about the routing, but still one more thing is remaining in understanding the routing. That is the value of the exact.
One more question. So when you're going into detail page, uh,
Right,
uh, when you do detail one, the content for car one is displayed, and
right,
but that routing is happening in that app component, right? Where it's taking
right,
to that URL for
right,
car 100, whatever.
right.
Okay. Okay.
So routing is happening here, but whenever we put URL this, it automatically calls this component,
Hmm.
and the content which is coming out of this component
Right.
will be displayed in place of this.
Got it. Okay.
So
Hmm.
that's it. One. Now only thing remaining is the value of exact. So
Hmm.
instead of detail, let's name it to listing only. But listing has one more parameter ID. So I will remove the detail part and I will make this same.
Hmm.
I will make this same. So once I make this same, let's check it again. So I will call this listing 2. So if I pass
Hmm.
only listing, it will show all the cars. But if I pass listing slash 1, so it will call the detail component with the
Right.
detail car, whatever I want to show.
Hmm.
So let me remove this because this was the wrong URL. Now if I go to listing, it is going to listing. If I'm going to listing detail car, it's showing listing in the top kind of thing,
Yeah.
passing to, but it is going to the detail component because I mentioned listing with ID should go to the detail component. But if
Okay.
it is only listing in the URL, it should go to listing component.
Okay.
Here
Okay.
I'm mentioning based on the URL. Now,
Yes.
if you see, this is called as this URL and this URL both are similar. Only thing
Yeah.
is this has addition of it.
ID. Hmm.
So we can consider this as a parent maybe, and this can be considered as a child because this one comes out of this one. This is a parent, and we are extending the parent to ID.
Hmm.
Now, if I remove the exact true in both the things,
Hmm.
then we will see the real difference. Let me, before saving, I will go to the main home page
Hmm.
and I will remove the exact in both these conditions. I will keep exact in all these conditions, but I will
Right.
remove.
Yeah.
So we should know what is exactly exact is doing. And
Difference.
if I remove exact, what will happen?
Hmm.
So now if I go to the listing page, listing component is displayed.
Hmm.
When I go to detail component, detail is component is coming at the down of the listing component.
Oh. Okay.
It's automatically coming because we did not put exact equal to true. So the React is considering this part as a child of this part,
Right.
and it will put all the contents of this part after this part.
Okay. Okay.
So whenever I go to detail page, it is showing first the listing component because it is automatically getting the listing data, and then it is going to this listing ID and it is showing inside below it.
What if you remove the exact inside home and now after
About,
listing?
let's remove exact
Yeah,
in
just
all the
remove this. Click home after listing two.
right. Let's remove this so that you can see.
Yeah.
So let's go to the home page. So home component is there because we have slash. If I put about, so home and about is coming because slash about is coming under the slash. We have the slash about. So this is the parent. This is kind of child. If I
Hmm.
go to contact, instead of about, contact will come. If I go listing, instead home, after the home listing is coming.
Oh,
And if I go
parent is fixed, but child keeps changing. Okay.
right, parent is this one, it is fixed, and then child changes. But here now we will be getting three components because parent is this is child, and there will be grandson. If,
Grandchild,
if
yeah. Right,
so, if
right,
a
right.
parent, this is child, and this is a grandchild.
Okay, okay.
So this sometimes gives the confusion which one I should show, which one I should not show, because I want to show only the home component when user click home. That's the reason people use exact in most of the time where they want to differentiate it separately.
Hmm.
So this practically this is not the real use case, but
Okay.
you should know that you can also do that thing.
Hmm.
In reality, I do only exact equal to true always.
Hmm.
But there may be some projects, I don't know, I might have not done that kind of functionality where I
Right.
can use this one. Maybe in future, once I build many 100, 200 projects in React, I will be able to really maybe use that one. Right now, I haven't used it, but I may use it in some of the projects. Once I complete 200, 300 projects in React,
Hmm.
I may use it. But right now, with the current
Okay.
projects that I've done in my company, I haven't used it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you should know that this is a way also, but it's up to project. You may think on that way also if
All
you
right.
get a chance.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So this is all about the routing. So we
Hmm.
will. Uh, so
Can you
here,
send me this?
yeah, I will,
Yeah.
yeah, this one I will send you, and I will send you this one also app.js.
Yeah.
So we will be using routing in almost all the projects. So even if you forget kind of thing today, just try
Hmm.
to understand whatever you can.
Okay.
But regarding the remembering part,
Hmm.
you will automatically remember once we
We're
do many
using this.
times. Yeah, when we do this many times, you will remember it.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. Let me email you, and then we can start our project also in the React so that you can get idea of that also.
Mm-hmm.
Let me write down. Hmm, I don't have your email here. One second. Okay, this is one thing, and then I will give this whole project. We can practice it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I sent you. Just receive in couple of minutes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, now we will start one simple project. So just for you to maybe we will not be able to complete it, but
Yeah.
we will start something
Hmm.
so that you get the idea. Which one I should do?
But we'll create a lot of projects in Redux, right? Once we
Redux,
are done with
right,
that.
right.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it's very complicated to maintain all the pages in the React because
Right.
to maintain the state and the props all over the pages. So that
Hmm.
is little difficult to do in the React. It will take a lot of our time without meaning. And
Hmm.
with the Redux, we will get the maintenance very easy.
Right.
And people wants to learn Redux only. So why to waste time in the React, which
React.
we will
Yeah.
not be doing in the future.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Redux both combination, but
Yes.
only React does not. Nobody tries to work only
Just
in the
do it
React.
in React. Yeah.
Yeah, only you should know how to do the things in the React. But when we do Redux also, you are actually building in React, but only for the state and
Props.
props you are using the Redux. Otherwise, everything is same. You
But
just
everything we learned in these 5 classes for React will be used
will
in
be
Redux.
used all over the place. Yeah.
Okay.
I-
Okay.
because all our React Redux projects will use the concept which we did now, Only
Got it.
thing in Redux to maintain the state, we will be using the
Okay.
right. Okay, I will do very simple project, not to put too much because
Yeah, we
uh,
don't want to waste time on this.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So that only you should get idea of what the React is.
Yes.
Okay, let me see this. I'm just searching which project I should go.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'll
No
just
problem. No
yeah.
problem. Manish, actually, I'm very tired today. Can we do this 15 minutes next? Yeah, can we cover up for this 15 minutes, like in the next
Right,
class?
right. Yeah, but there is a new topic, and you should yeah, you should
Yeah.
concentrate on this part. Yeah, right. I'm also tired.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do it fresh. Maybe I'll let you know. Not tomorrow, but maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, but I'll
Yeah,
let
we
you know.
will cover this 10-15 minutes more, which in the next time.
Sure. Thank you so much, Manish.
Thank you. Let me stop the recording.